I know this is not usually my content, but I made this video in Italian, and Susie, which has always been supporting me and believing in me, has asked me to do this video in English, as well as the topic can be very interesting and to spread a little bit of awareness. So I'm stepping out of my comfort zone and doing this. Do you think you're safe in the city you live in? So I live in a small town that is not really close, that is quite close to the main city, but is not the main city. I did not feel safe in the main city. Not everywhere, but there are several areas that are not really safe. Things in Milan have gotten quite wild lately, so I should consider myself lucky that I live in a smaller reality. Yet when I used to work in the city center, it has happened a few times that people tried to follow me home when I ended my shift at 2 a.m. for example, and it was quite upsetting. So I wouldn't say that I feel 100% safe there, but also there are places that are less safe for sure. Let's say that if it were noon and I was walking alone, I wouldn't feel as scared and unsafe as if I were in Milan. In the small town I live in, though, I feel quite safe. Which are, in your opinion, the most dangerous situation a woman can face in daily life? So it's weird. It's not easy to be a woman, because sometimes it has happened to me. So this is why I'm mentioning it. Sometimes you greet a person or just being kind to a person because you have been taught to be kind and just interact with other humans in a positive way. And these people misunderstand your intention and they think you are flirting with them for no reason. And then they start getting a little more inappropriate, and at this point you tell them, hey, this is absolutely not what I meant, and they get mad. That's where things can escalate quite quickly, from getting verbal offenses to being blackmailed, harassed, catcalled, or things like that. So dangerous situation on a daily basis could be this simple interaction, or I don't know, maybe someone does something that is very rough, like you're walking on the zebra walk and someone with a car just doesn't stop and you yell at them and they can get really mad and just go wild, There are several situations on a daily. Have you ever thought about the possibility of having to defend yourself in case you had to deal with someone who had bad intentions? I actually do think about it a lot, especially if I am alone, especially if it's dark and there is nobody around. I always make sure I have some objects that I can use as a weapon close to me, easy to grab, because you never know. Do you think men are as sensible as women to the topic of safety and violence and feminicides and things like that? Honestly, I don't think so, or at least not yet. it has happened many times that I was not physically aggressed, but harassed in ways, or like when I had been followed, when I finished working and things like that, that were really impactful mentally. Yes, I didn't have any physical wounds, but it was still really bad. But whenever I talked about it to a man, whether that was, I don't know, my ex, my boss, my father, they were like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, but you're not hurt, so I mean, you're safe, nothing bad happened, when just the psychological aspect was actually really bad. Now that bad things are happening more frequently here in Italy, I think many are understanding more. Even my father has started realizing how bad and impactful it can be. So, things are changing, there is more awareness, but still they don't understand the feeling. So, yeah. Have you ever thought about purchasing pepper spray? Hot pepper spray? If so, was it your idea or did someone advise you to do that? So I had one when I lived in the city and I went to the gym at night. I had to bike there and it was in a very dangerous area of the city. So my best friend gave me her own one and she was like, so you're safe, you're more safe, you can easily protect yourself. And I accepted that and I felt indeed more safe. I never used it, thank goodness, but I don't think it's bad to have it. I know some people are like, oh no, I don't accept to have to use this to protect myself because it would mean admitting I'm in danger. But the world we live in is wild. So have you ever been in a situation that was dangerous for you or where you had to physically protect yourself from someone? So this is something I never talked about. I did experience domestic violence on my own skin with my ex-boyfriend. It happened a few times actually, and usually I was able to defend myself quite well. But there was a specific time where he gave me a black sore swollen eye, where I was laying in bed and he kind of climbed on me, choked me, and I don't even know if I can say these things on YouTube actually, and then started punching me. And in that occasion I was trying to defend myself, trying to, I don't know, slap him in the face or something, but he was using his own weight to be on top of me, so it was quite hard. So I started using my nails, and then I guess he kind of realized that he was gone way too farther way too far bananas, and he jumped off of me. So I stood up, and I think he saw what he did to me because my eye was already super swollen, and he even broke my glasses. And I was ready to defend myself, and he was like, do you want more? Do you want more? And I was like, yeah, come here, see if you can give me more now that I'm standing. And he saw me and he was like, oh, wait, okay, stop, let's go to the hospital. And stupid, silly, idiot me. I know you shouldn't talk about yourself that way, but I can never forgive myself for what I did or what I did not do, actually. I said, no, let's not go to the hospital, because if we go to the hospital and I tell the truth, then you're gonna be in trouble. So I don't want you to be in trouble. And he was like, I don't care. It's my fault. That's what I did. And I was like, no, you can't. I can't put you through this. Funny story, that same evening, he was a DJ and he had an event. And he was like, okay, tonight I'm not going, okay? I'm staying with you because I lost control and I'm so sorry. And I was like, no, you cannot skip this event. You have to go. He was like, all right, then I'm going. And he left me alone. My eye had gotten swollen to the point I couldn't even open it. The next day I had work and my glasses were broken and I didn't know how to fit a contact lens into that eye. The next day comes and I go to work. I think it was the Lulu and thought that color correcting could help me. So I tried to use a lot of concealer and hide the bruise and the swell. But people could see it from like super far away. As soon as I got at work, before I even like entered the door, everyone was like, what happened to your face? And I was like, oh, I fell down the stairs. Someone assumed it was a punch. It was really obvious. And I was like, no, honestly, I fell. The light went off and I just slipped. And I made this story so clear in my mind that I could tell it with a smile on my face, adding so many details that you couldn't believe it wasn't true. And yeah, then like I haven't talked to my parents for 3 days. Back then I did not talk to my parents for 3 days because I didn't want them to see me. But then of course I have a close relationship with them, and one day after 3 days my dad texts me and he's like, hey, why don't we hang out? We are coming to the city, Mom and I, it would be nice to meet you. And I was like, what do I do now? I sent them a picture and I was like, it would be great, but I cannot hang out because I fell down the stairs and now I look like this. They immediately called me and they were like, that's a punch. Who did that to you? And I was like, no, really, I did fall down the stairs. And I told them all the funny story that I invented. And they believed it. Because I really did not want my dad to find out what happened. Because I know he could kill my ex-boyfriend with his bare hands. And I didn't want my dad to, have troubles with the law because of him. Such an idiot. So I invented this stupid lie in my mind I was protecting everyone with this lie. And then I went to the hospital. My parents insisted for me to go to the hospital, and luckily there were no problems. But if you look closely, this eye is still different. I see that it's more swollen and even the sensitivity is different. I can barely feel my nails scratching. Here I feel it 100%. Here I feel it maybe 60% or something, and it's just more bulky than the other eye. And it was not because I had the eyebrow piercing. I didn't look like this before this happened. And so, yeah, I did have to face this kind of situations. I wish I could say that was the only occasion, but it wasn't. Thank goodness it belongs to the past now. So how relevant are physical aspects and the outfit you're wearing compared to the possibility of being assaulted? There is this awful thing that many people here say, like, oh, she was dressed like that. That's why she got RAPED. Which I think is so freaking disrespectful. Because honestly, it doesn't count. I have received some of the filthiest, most nasty words, even when I was wearing my pajamas. So I don't think the outfit matters. I don't think your age or your physical aspect matters. It's just that you're there, wrong place, wrong time. Have you ever talked to other women on how to defend themselves in case they needed to, and which tips did you give or receive? I haven't really talked about it much, because I think we're all on the same boat. We don't really know what to do. We talk about, like, we would all think about easy weapon to use, like, I don't know, using your keys, like do a little bit of Wolverine hands with your keys and just hope that works, or you know, a kick down there, or in the throat, stab him in the throat, oh my god, hit them, punch them in the throat, but it's not really like easy, because once this is happening, there is so much going through your mind. It's really hard to be lucid and react. But I think, like, if you can happen to be strong, it's easier. Like, if you can be as strong as a man or stronger than him, then you're probably more prone to defend yourself. And here I'm using these pronouns, but I don't necessarily mean man, woman. It's really not about just that. So forgive me if you hear these pronouns. It's just not easy for me to compartmentalize the aggressor and the aggressed while being a cisgender woman, but I don't want to offend any gender identity here. Would you want to go to a self-defense, female self-defense class, and would you do it alone or in a group? Honestly, I don't like self-defense classes. I once took one and I was very uncomfortable. I think that the things they teach you only work in that scenario, but when you are in an unpredictable situation, those techniques don't necessarily do much. If I had to, though, I would go private because I have social anxiety. Make some examples on how a woman could smartly put herself in a state of protection during a potential harassment. Well, I think gain time somehow. If I am walking alone and it's a place I don't know or I don't like, I always have the police number right on the display just to hit call, so it's easier. Sometimes if I have someone talking to me and I don't want them to, I tell them that I'm waiting for my dad or my husband, so that they know there is going to be a male presence soon, and for some reason it usually works. Which self-defense technique would you use in case you never got the chance to use it? Knowing yourself, what do you think you'd be able to use it if you needed to? So for self-defense, that I think what I said before, so down there or throat. But again, I don't know if I would be able to do that because I think I could just be locked by fear. Do you think that accessories, shoes, and other common objects could create an advantage or a disadvantage in case you're being harassed or assaulted? Could you explain that and give some examples? So, I mean, heel shoes, if you have them on, you cannot really run, but you can use them as weapons. I think like skirts and stuff like that would really be uncomfortable for me, because I'd be so concerned everybody could see my underwear. So that's why I always wear pants, in case I were like assaulted or something. It would be an extra step for them, and so it would be an advantage for me, I guess. Then I don't know, if you're wearing a scarf, you can use it as a slip knot for the aggressor. Yeah, that's my guesses, but I don't know, it's so hard. Like, it's easy to talk now sitting here. Could an assaulted woman become a danger for the one who assaulted her? I don't really understand this question, but I guess like if she recognizes him, or she could report him to the police, yes. Or if she goes crazy, like in a movie that I've seen, that like this lady plans a whole revenge situation in order to destroy her assaulter's life, then yes, she could become potentially dangerous. That's it. Really sorry that my English was quite bad. I tried to translate these questions from Italian to English. It wasn't really easy, but I hope that it answered some questions, and I hope that you found it useful or interesting. Thank you, Susie, for requesting me to do this, and thank you for all you do for me. And if any of you out there is struggling against assault, harassment, whatsoever, you have a voice and use it. Don't do like me, because it's really something I will forever regret. The fact that I protected that person, and the only person who paid for this was me, because I lost job hours, I lost credibility at work, I had to lie everyone, I lost self-esteem, and he was living his best life. So was it worth it to protect him? Absolutely not. And so if you're in this situation, protect yourself first. There is nothing more important than that. Don't think that person deserves a second chance, because they ruined their life the moment they ruined yours. Alright?